Good evening. You now with me, Charlotte Mato for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. 1 in 3 people in Gaza has not eaten for days, according to reports from the Palestine News and Info Agency, as the growing hunger crisis has triggered urgent calls for rapid humanitarian aid and the immediate establishment of a permanent ceasefire. Thailand and Cambodia's leaders urged to Monday for a ceasefire as police busted a drug syndicate's attempt to distribute shabu worth 3.07 million ringgit using a drop-off tactic for the local market. We begin. This is news. Batik Air has officially launched its daily Subang-Kuching route effective today, providing travellers with a new and convenient flight option between the two cities. The inaugural flight from Subang to Kuching, which nearly reached full capacity with its 162-seat availability, marks a significant step forward in improving air connectivity to Sarawak. At the launch event, Sarawak's Transport Minister Dato Sri Lee Kim Shin expressed his gratitude to Batik Air for its ongoing efforts in expanding flight options to the region.
Flight from Subang to Kuching offer passengers another option. And there will be some passengers who like to fly from Subang because it's more convenient for them.
Kim Shin also pointed out the benefits of the new route, noting that flights from Subang typically take just 30 to 45 minutes, with only occasional delays due to traffic conditions. In addition to this new route, the minister highlighted the broader efforts to increase flights into Sarawak.
The ministry also is working with the airlines to see how we can have more flights to Sarawak. Apart from Kuala Lumpur, we can have flights from from Penang. We have also from Johor Bahru, or even also from Ipoh. Yeah. As we all know, starting from 12th of September, we're going to reintroduce the flight from Kuching to Pontianak Kuching twice daily.
Acknowledging Batik Air's contribution to Sarawak's aviation landscape, he also shared his aspirations for further advancements in air connectivity. With the launch of the new Subang-Kuching route, Batik Air strengthens its presence in Sarawak, offering passengers more access to efficient and comfortable flights to the region.
On to the next update. Police busted a drug syndicate's attempt to distribute shabu worth 3.07 million ringgit using a drop-off tactic of the local market after 2 men were arrested by police in a raid at Kota Sentosa, Kuching last week. Federal Narcotics Crime Investigation Department NCID Director Dr. Hussein Umar Khan revealed 2 men aged between 25 and 27 were arrested inside a car parked by the roadside at 8:50 p.m. on July 19. Following weeks of police intelligence gathering. According to Hussein, the 2 suspects aged between 25 and 27 were detained inside a parked vehicle at the roadside.
Dalam serbuan tersebut, JSJN telah berjaya menahan sebuah kereta Perodua Alza dan telah menangkap 2 orang suspek. Kedua-duanya adalah warga tempatan yang berumur antara 25 dan juga 27 tahun. Pemeriksaan dalam kereta tersebut telah menjumpai 1 beg berwarna hitam dan 3 kotak berwarna keperangan di dalamnya mengandungi 80 bungkusan berwarna hijau bertulisan Guan Yin yang mana setiap satu paket berisi plastik lut sinar mengandungi ketulan kristal disyaki dadah jenis shabu. Jumlah keseluruhan shabu yang dirampas adalah lebih kurang 83 kilogram.
He added that the syndicate had been active since early this year and operated using a drop-off method, where drug supplies are placed inside unlocked vehicles at specific locations, allowing the buyer to retrieve them without any physical contact. In addition to the drugs, police also seized 1,100 ringgit in cash, bringing the total value of the seized drugs and assets to approximately 3.072 million ringgit. The first suspect has 3 prior criminal records under the Common Gaming Houses Act 1953 and Section 182 of the Penal Code. The second suspect has no prior record but tested positive for amphetamine and methamphetamine. Both suspects have been remanded for 7 days until July 27th to assist in the investigation under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, which carries the death penalty or life imprisonment and whipping upon conviction.
Thailand and Cambodia's leaders agreed Monday to an unconditional ceasefire after 5 days of clash at the jungle-clad frontier. At least 36 people have been killed and more than 200,000 displaced as the country's both popular tourist destinations fought over a smattering of contested border temples. The two countries agreed to an immediate and unconditional ceasefire effective midnight on July 29th, as per the announcement by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim.
The government of Malaysia, Cambodia and Thailand issued this joint press release following the special meeting chaired, hosted and witnessed by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim in Putrajaya and participated by Cambodia's Prime Minister Samdech Mahabornvol Dipadai Hun Manet and Thailand's Acting Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai, and co-organized by the United States of America with the active participation of the People's Republic of China to promote a peaceful resolution to the ongoing situation. Both Cambodia and Thailand reached a common understanding as follows. 1. An immediate and unconditional ceasefire.
The announcement follows a mediation meeting at Anwar's official residence in Malaysia, which currently chairs the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Thailand's acting Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai and Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Manet met shortly after in Anwar's presence. The clash, triggered over a long-disputed border area, was the deadliest since violence raged from 2008 to 2011 over the territory, which is claimed by both sides because of a vague demarcation made by Cambodia's French colonial administrations in 1907.
The 74 artificial reefs built 6 states by the Department of Fisheries DOF Malaysia in 2024 marks a significant step in not only conserving marine biodiversity but has generated over 85,000 ringgit revenue from fish biomass, the highest in current market value. To mark the World Conservation Day 2025, DOF stated the reefs utilised an allocation of 2.4 million ringgit in states like Kedah, Perak, Malacca, Pahang, Terengganu and Kelantan. Of all, 205 artificial reef sites have been established to date, serving as fish breeding habitats and protecting marine biodiversity. In a statement, the DOF said the initiative is part of its ongoing conservation program that includes the restoration of marine and terrestrial habitats, the protection of aquatic species, and the sustainable management of resources to ensure the sustainability of the country's fisheries ecosystem. In terms of marine species conservation, particularly sea turtles, the DOF recorded a total of 7,724 sea turtle landings nationwide as of this month, with 565,507 eggs collected for conservation purposes and controlled incubation. A total of 430,568 turtle hatchlings were successfully released into their natural habitat, including hatchlings from previous year's incubation. Regarding freshwater fish resource conservation efforts, the DOF announced that it has established 13 freshwater fish sanctuaries in Peninsular Malaysia, which are home to various native local fish species such as kala, tengas, lampam sungai and giant river prawns. Additionally, 7 more new sanctuaries are being implemented for the period from 2025 to 2026. To support the recovery of native fish populations in public waters, the DOF also implemented a phased fish fry release program involving the release of 49.6 million fish fry from 2021 to 2025. And on to world affairs. 1 in 3 people in Gaza has not eaten for days, calling for the rapid delivery of aid and the establishment of a permanent ceasefire, according to reports by Palestine News and Info Agency. In recent developments, various countries have turned up to speak on the matter, saying food and aid to Palestine should not be blocked, delayed or distributed under attack, stressing that Gaza is experiencing the worst humanitarian crisis in history.
Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez announces the distribution of thousands of kilos of food by parachute over the Gaza Strip later this week because, quote-unquote, the famine in Gaza is a disgrace for all humanity and stopping it, therefore, is a moral imperative, a humanitarian imperative, and a political imperative.
Les comunico que el Gobierno de España está preparando un envío de miles de kilos de alimentos para la franja de Gaza, que si las circunstancias no cambian, y esperemos que no cambian, exigimos que no cambien, se producirá este viernes desde el territorio de Jordania y mediante el uso de paracaídas y aviones A400 de las Fuerzas Armadas españolas.
Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi makes an impassioned call for U.S. President Donald Trump to intervene and to put an end to the fighting in Gaza, saying the time has come to end the war, while emphasizing the amount of aid Egypt has prepared for the starving Palestinians.
طيب احنا حجم المساعدات اللي موجودة عندنا واللي متاح والشاحنات اللي موجودة للمساعدات تدخل القطاع منذ بدء الأزمة لغاية دلوقتي حجم ضخم جدا جدا ومفيش ما يعيقه، ما حدش بيمنعه، ما نقدرش نمنعه، لا أخلاقياتنا تسمح بكده ولا القيم بتاعتنا تسمح بكده ولا حتى الظرف أو المسؤولية الوطنية والأخلاقية تسمح لنا بكده.
Just hours ago, the Zionist regime finally allowed truckloads of food reach hungry GAZANS after it promised to open secure aid routes. But humanitarian agencies warn vast amounts more were needed to stave off starvation. With Gaza's population of more than 2 million facing famine and malnutrition, Israel bowed to international pressure at the weekend and announced a daily, quote-unquote, tactical pause in fighting in some areas. Since March 2nd, 2025, Israel has closed all crossings with the Strip and prevented the entry of most food and medical aid, causing widespread famine within the Strip. And according to latest figures, 134 Palestinians, including 88 children, have died from famine and malnutrition since October 7th, 2023.
And China looks forward to ensure that the U.S. will reciprocate what was negotiated in a discussion recently regarding trade between the two countries. China hopes the two sides could hold talks in a spirit of mutual respect and reciprocity, albeit talks are still ongoing. Talks between the world's top two economies are expected over 2 days, with an extension of lower tariff levels on the cards as President Donald Trump's trade policy enters a critical week.
在经贸问题上，中方的立场是一贯明确的，希望美方同中方一道，落实两国元首通话达成的重要共识，发挥中美经贸磋商机制的作用，在平等、尊重、互惠的基础上，通过对话沟通，增进共识，减少误解，加强合作，推动中美关系稳定、健康、可持续发展。
For dozens of trading partners, an agreement in the coming days means they could face significant tariff hikes on exports to the United States come Friday, August 1. The steeper rates threatened against partners like Brazil and India will raise the duties their products face from a baseline of 10% now to levels up to 50%. Tariffs imposed by the Trump administration have already effectively raised duties on U.S. imports to levels not seen since the 1930s, according to data from the Budget Lab Research Center at Yale University. For now, all eyes are on discussions between Washington and Beijing as a delegation including U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent meets the Chinese team led by Vice Premier He Lingfeng in Sweden. And those are the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Shilsh Maito. Thank you for watching and have a good night.